Hey, there we go, on the air. Hey, welcome to Mazecast episode whatever, season 2. I need to do something because my screen is totally black here. I guess by turning off the lights in the room, that would probably do the trick. All right. Or I can just pull up something that's going to cast some light off my computer. I didn't expect that I'd be coming back to do a Mazecast episode so soon, and perhaps this episode's going to be the last one I do. But we all had the free moment unexpectedly tonight, and there's a lot of stuff going on with the guide puzzle. So I figured we should all come here and shit all over it while we've got the chance.
Well, you appear to be trapped in room 24, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end of your your career.
This is our sequel to episode. If you ever wondered what happened way back in our room 24 episode, this is we're still trapped in there. You need to watch this one right after that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So the deal is, everyone's always wondered who the guide is, and we've done an episode talking about that before. And okay, I'm just going to turn on the goddamn light. And okay. And the big news, like a year and a half ago or whenever, is that White Raven on the Abyss told everybody that there is an actual solvable puzzle within the book that tells you exactly who the guide is. It's not just putting together clues from different places and figuring out who's the best fit. There's a puzzle that essentially tells you explicitly who the guide is, and once you've got it, it's correct. There's no question left but that you've solved the riddle of the guide. And so, as we've gone through these episodes, we've had our doubts about the puzzle quality and whether the stuff that we're finding was real and the stuff that White Raven was saying was not crazy, and whether any of this stuff had actually been confirmed with Manson. There was always this holy grail out there where we would just say, well, he found the guide puzzle. He found the guide puzzle, and if nothing else, the guide puzzle is still out there to solve. And so keep running towards that. It gave us a mission, a purpose at all times. So I don't know if it was weeks or months ago at this point, but some time ago, the first real step towards the guide puzzle was taken. And I guess you guys talked about this on an episode while I was gone, so I think I'm rehashing some territory, but there was the guide path was found. I'm trying to imply scare quotes with my tone of voice when I say the guide path was found. Oh, let me turn on screen share here. And, okay. So you're seeing my screen right now?
Yeah.
So we're looking at the Abyss, and this is going to be kind of an Abyss-heavy episode, but I think it's necessary because the only reason we know anything about this puzzle or have made any progress on it is because of White Raven and things said on the Abyss. So this is the path here. Now, you might notice as you look at this path that it comes from, looks like 5 different directions. And then it's not really clear what, if anything, takes you from 40 to 38 because there's no marking in there. But and you'll notice that you've got these trefoil symbols here. Is that how you say it? Trefoil?
Nobody.
Okay. Yeah, trefoil sounds better, I guess. These trefoil symbols marking the path there, which is supposed to be what the path consists of. Although the problem is there's really only one trefoil in the entire maze. That's the one in room 10. Let's see if we can go down to the related images. So you can see room 10 here on the bed. That's a real trefoil. Like, that's exactly what it is. But it gets worse from there. Now, we look at room 6 here, and we've got 3 stones in no particular configuration, not a trefoil. And also there's a 4th stone and a bunch more stones back here that we're just ignoring. But we're calling that a trefoil, I guess. You'll notice this mess of lines here that does not form a trefoil. It's got about 2/3 of a trefoil here. I guess that's good enough, so we're calling that a trefoil. We've got a target here with 4 different parts to it, but we're ignoring the bullseye so that we can count these as 3 and call that a trefoil, I guess. and 3 fingers on a ball is a trefoil, I guess. If you draw some imaginary lines on here, it sort of becomes a trefoil, although your circles aren't the same size. Here we've got 3 very different size circles inside a triangle, so we're calling that a trefoil. I don't know if it's because of the 3 balls or because of the triangle. Maybe it's a combination of the 2. It's not really a trefoil anyway. Here's some more circles together that don't really form a trefoil. We'll pretend they do. And here's some stuff that doesn't look anything like a trefoil, but I guess there are 3 things together, so we'll call that a trefoil. And here are the 3 bushes in the door to 22. Okay, so
About 7 together, I think, actually, they form that trefoil.
what's that?
Well, this live face is composed, that trefoil is composed of 7 or 8 things together. They're quite an intricate little trefoil.
Yeah, I think the trefoil is, look, to put the best face on what this path is. In the Hangout, we've been calling it 3E things, although that's a little hard to say out loud. So saying it out loud, I'm going to say 3-ish things. Like, it's not just the trefoil, but if you look at just things that are triple or that have a triple part to them or something like that, there's a large number of those sort of objects congregated around doors to the trap, and then there are some in the trap. So I guess to put the best face on it you can, I guess it's those kinds of things are marking a way or a sort of a path into the trap, but from just about every angle. Well, maybe just say that they're associated with the trap, whatever. Now, there's a statement in the prologue from the guide that says they should call me Cerberus. And so I guess if you connect that with the 3-ish things, and also with these 3 connected rooms down in the trap, then we've got some reason to take this collection of 3-ish things as relating to the guide, although it's really not clear. It's not clear, I guess, with just on the face of it, that this is any kind of a path at all, that it has anything to do with the guide, that it directs you to those 3 rooms. And although we're already being sort of generous in calling all these things related as 3-ish things, it's maybe worth noting that almost every room in the maze has a similar example of a 3-ish thing, similar quality to a lot of the stuff on the list there. Like, anyone, name a room at random, any room from the maze.
I'll give you one right now. Room 3. If you accept the barrels in the Fortunato room, then you might as well accept the 3 pots of hams that are in that triangle formation as forming another trefoil.
That's as good, but you don't even have to use particular examples. Like, we'll go to 2. Okay, this has the bushes that's supposed to be trefoily, but like over door 29, we've got the 3 ladies, we've got the 3 shields. So there's a pretty
circles right there.
Yeah. Go back to room 1. We've got the tripod easel. Room.
Well, yeah. In 1, the little top and the thing also look.
Oh, yeah.
One of the better ones, I think.
Sorry, I'm just moving too quickly, but it doesn't really matter. The point is just that they're everywhere. Room 4, you've got the this E in the maze, which is like the head of a pitchfork. That's 3 in 1. Which I'm not saying that's good. I would say that's as good as the 3 stones on the floor in 6 that are not separated from all the other stones on the floor or arranged in any configuration. Room 5, we've got...
You need to unmute Alex. Sorry. Alex is muted somehow.
Well, he should be able to unmute himself.
He's
not...
I don't see him as being muted.
His sound's not working.
Told us.
Check. 1. Hello.
There you go. Check right there.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Anyway, I won't go through the whole thing, but so room 5, we've got the tripod easel and we've got the poster with 3 towers on 22, although those both lead into the trap, so that actually is on theme. Let's take a look at 7. Well, of course, 7 has a lot of 3-ish stuff because the correct answer is 33, so that's no big deal. But we've got like the 3 pins and the 3 tails. Let's see, let's go to 8.
I mean, part of it is we haven't figured out the whole trail.
Well, I don't know that it is. I think the problem is that whatever the trail is, it's not trefoils. if it's 3-ish things, then we're being very selective about what we're considering part of the trail, and it's a pretty wide net, or at least potentially, that you can cast for 3-ish things. But I guess the point's made. I don't know. Let's skip down just to one. Let's about 27. I haven't really thought about it before. Maybe there's not even anything in here. Yeah, I guess I can't think of anything that's 3-ish in 27 off the top of my head, so I guess I picked the wrong room.
Pick 26.
Except for the 3.
Yeah, 1226 has just a literal pitchfork in it, so that's fine. And then
6 is already on the board.
And then 28 has a 3-pronged fork on it as well. Anyway, so to catch up with where we are at this point, when this gets revealed, right, then it's kind of like, all right, we waited all this time for the guide puzzle. The guide puzzle was just supposed to be great and inarguable. It tells you who the guide is. And we get to the guide path and it's like, oh, well, maybe the rest of the puzzle is going to be really good, right? So we make it past that. And then the next step, we're told there's some non-room location that connects to one of the rooms in that 3-room loop that's in the trap. And after a lot of looking around, Sarah figures out what it's supposed to be. I think virtually single-handedly at that.
Yeah, me. Because everyone had stopped posting because they were so mad about the trap foils at that point.
And then, so let me start screen sharing again. I don't know why I even stopped. I guess I felt like my face needed to be on there for a second.
Hey, Alex, say something.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm rushing through all this.
No, I don't think it's working. We can't hear him.
I know.
Oh, it's so quiet.
Yeah, you got to turn it up, Vince.
Okay.
I think your microphone isn't working.
Well, we can do it either way, though. Try talking now, Alex.
Check one.
All right.
That's good enough.
Okay. So here's what we have now. On the title page, there's the maze blueprint here, and there are some letters hidden in there. There's what looks like an I here and an N, Y, L, S. There's a U over here that we're just going to end up ignoring. And what we're going to do is take the S-L-Y here to spell sly and the I-N here to spell in to give us in sly, which I guess means that the identity of the guide is in a room where the word sly is used in the text, which sounds, I guess, what it sounds like. I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I guess, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Hey, Vince. Give me your best guess as to how the objects spell out I am.
Oh, man. I'd read it. It's
Like my I am.
I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. I need some help here.
The M is upside down.
M is upside down.
Yeah. So look right beside the Y and upside down.
Go back.
It's going to involve like the shadow, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the shadow, it's the compass, and then there's that little pointy bit of the maze map.
Pointy bit of the maze map.
So it's the V formed by the shadow and the compass. And then to the right of it is that little pointy bit. So it's like an upside down crappy M.
Okay. I'm still not sure that
Yeah, I'm sort of seeing it. I'm seeing one corner of it.
Well, in any case, I don't think the I am is necessary, and it's not the strongest anyway. Actually, I think what's pretty strong there, and this did come out of the last Mazecast episode, I think, is using the objects to spell devil.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's totally solid. The mallet is a lowercase d. The curl of the scroll or the map over here is a lowercase e. Compass is an upside down V. The chisel is an I. The square is an L. That seems pretty solid. I mean, it leaves out the keystone, but I don't think that's a big deal. The keystone could be of individual importance, especially considering, if this is supposed to be some kind of a signal to look in that particular part of the trap.
And also just saying there's something that's important here. Which
Yeah.
is already up there, but yeah, makes sense.
But I don't know, this in Sly stuff. I mean, I guess if you accept everything else, then it seems to fit. I guess if you accept it, you need to be directed to that room, which we don't exactly know why we need to be directed to that room yet. But it just, I can't imagine that you would start with the premise, okay, I want to put something in this map that's going to direct you to that room. And you would think not just the word Sly, but like in Sly. If I put in Sly, that's a good puzzle. And let me put an extra U over here too, just to throw them off the scent. It seems, it's like one of Gentile's. It's like one of his anagrams where he'll take a phrase and anagram it into something completely, like sounds like someone who spoke English as a second language came up with it and thought that, Manson put that as a clue to something. It's not the way the puzzles work. You start with an intelligible phrase and then work it into something that is difficult to decipher, not, work with symbols that are easily identifiable that can be forced into some weird phrasing that could sort of be interpreted. You know what I mean? You wouldn't start with the phrase in Sly and hide that because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, in Sly doesn't mean in the room where the word Sly is used, right? I mean, you wouldn't use that phrase to say that.
But it's a hint. I mean, I think he probably meant it to be something where that little phrase wouldn't pop out at you, and the word Sly wouldn't pop out at you unless you really knew the book really well.
It's too much like I Am Bullman.
But I don't have a problem with the Sly on its own, I guess. I mean, that's the only room where the word is used, and those letters are all connected in a line right there. Like, I don't think it's whatever. Like, I think that's plausible to pull the word Sly out of there. I don't think adding the in to it does anything. Leaving out the U just seems completely arbitrary. It seems more sensible to say that the N and the U and that I over there are all just camouflage. And it worked because we noted all these letters a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, well, there's so many letters on this page, you can spell anything you want. So,
right.
Whatever, you can spell stuff, but it doesn't mean anything. But the SLY are all connected there. So I guess that makes the most sense to me. Just say, forget about the other letters in there. Take Sly, treat the other letters as camouflage. I think this, and I guess that directs your attention to 43. It does, I suppose. Although the problem is it still doesn't say anything like the identity of the guide can be found in the room where,
Oh, no, I wanted to get to that because the way the map is drawn, it looks more like a Z when you're looking at it straight on without turning it or any nonsense like that. When you look at it straight on, it's a Z. And I think I mentioned to you earlier on that Z is 26. I said 25 at first, but then, I watched my 17 episode. And, 26 is Z, right? And it's got the three devils in it. That's kind of compelling.
Well, that's something. Although you've got the U to contend with. And
unless it's a C, right?
Oh, yeah, U or a C or an N.
Look, I'm willing to believe that the U might be an accident.
I couldn't imagine that if all those letters were intentional, that he just wouldn't notice he's putting a U in.
I mean, it's just a line and then another line and then another line.
Well, I know what it is.
Like it could be a C. I'm on the C team now.
But all the other walls in this maze blueprint are just connected to each other. Like one, Oh, actually, there is like a little L coming up.
Look at picky, Vince. There's another little tiny I between underneath the L and next to the S. And a tiny short little I. So are we going to count that too?
Yeah. Well,
that's why I'm looking for guide, because I feel like that thing over in the corner by the mouth looks like an upside down G.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
Here's my response to the Beals, and my answer is yes, we count it, but we don't count it as a letter that spells something we pay attention to. I think we count it as camouflage in the same way that the long line over by the Z that's being counted as an I don't think is really an I that goes with the thing to spell N. And you know what I mean? Like, I think sly, SLY, is important. I guess we can distinguish it just because the letters are all sort of connected to each other. They go on a line and they spell a word. And all these other letters all over the place can be ignored. And I know IN that also spells a word, but as Beals points out, there are also other places in here where there are just straight lines. And there are also a couple L's over by the U. I mean, there's the U itself. So
it does make sense to have the camouflage, because if you're Manson, you put sly in, and if those are the only letters, that's really going to jump out at you a lot more.
Although I'm still not sure that that's supposed to direct us to room 43. I mean, if the objects spell out devil and he has sly in there, then he's just putting the phrase sly devil in there. I mean, that might be put in there for reasons independent of room 43, and then room 43 might use the word sly again just because there's a devil in there.
But if you check in, then it could be devil in sly, and that would be a pointer to find the identity of God, which is the devil in the sly.
You know what? That's not bad.
Well, no, I don't even feel like that's my original observation. I feel like that's just logically going from what Arya found. That's sort of, I don't even want to take credit for that. That seems just like an extension of Arya's theory.
Thanks, Bill.
It still hadn't been done. However obvious it is, it just hadn't been put in that order.
All right, I'll type it up on the abyss.
Yeah, do it.
Well,
I feel like,
well, whatever. Anyway, I mean, the thing that about this to me is, I feel like if you were looking at this without the filter of having been told by White Raven that there's a guide puzzle, there's a location other than a room that connects to a room, and if you hadn't been told all that, and someone just pointed out this title page to you and said what this stuff said, I can't imagine anyone would say, oh, this is directing us to look to room 43 to find the identity of the guide. You know what I mean? Like, it still doesn't seem to be saying that. Now, we don't know yet what the final step here. We're at the final step, apparently, where room 43 is going to tell us who the guide is. Which it just seems like it's going to be the devil, right?
no.
How can it not be the devil? It's going to be the devil, right?
Minotaur.
It should be the Minotaur, but look
It is the Minotaur.
Yeah, of course it's the Minotaur. It has to
It
be.
can't just be, the answer to can't just be, oh, room 43, it's a picture of a devil. That can't be the answer.
Just because 26 has actual devils in it.
Here's the thing. Okay. I mean, yeah, the guide path has pitchforks on it. And
Trident.
the room has a picture of the devil, and we're directed here by a location that has the word devil spelled out, it seems like. And the whole 3-room circuit there, like the unfinished carving in 38 seems to be like the devil tarot card, and room 22 has.
But what about all the verbal clues, like his parents?
I
Yeah.
know.
Like
That's
that.
what the problem is.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna make this just unbelievable if it's the devil. I mean, really.
It has to be said, some of the clues work, like the I am by nature extremely critical. I haven't spared any of my guests the rigor of my judgment in 22. That's sort of.
The devil is not the one who judges. He doesn't judge. He just punishes.
I mean, he isn't the one who chooses. Well, in Christian theology, he isn't the one who chooses to send them there, but he's still he's judging them, and I don't know, he's punishing them. I feel like it can work. It can loosely work.
Yeah, it depends on what mythology you're going to take. I'm sure there are traditions where the devil decides what punishments. I mean, if nothing else, in like Looney Tunes cartoons and stuff like that, you see the devil imposing ironic punishments on people and stuff. So, I mean, it's not totally without precedent.
The same ones with talking Minotaurs.
That happens all the time in Looney Tunes cartoons. Characters will get blown up and go to hell.
Haven't you ever seen what's that one? Powerpuff Girls. There's a devil in that one. He sort of exact.
Maybe too.
Yeah.
But I feel like that snatch in 22 of text is the only thing that we ever identified as a guide clue in the text that could remotely fit the devil. I mean, it's his parents, his childhood, like, what do we make of that? That's not
His neighbors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deception practiced on his father.
All those explicit clues fit the Minotaur.
Right. All fit and more importantly, just cannot fit the devil.
Exactly.
We're hoping it's not going to be the devil, but look.
And not only that, Manson said, I'm not pushing any Christian ideology here. And I feel like having the devil as the guide would be crossing the line into.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, the book is full of devils anyway. Okay, so this not pushing Christian. I mean, just including the devil doesn't mean he's pushing theology or points of view. Like I mean, Looney Tunes weren't trying to communicate a religious message, and really need to watch more Looney Tunes if you can't believe it.
You know what else, though? I mean, so the prize puzzle, the answer was about Atlas. So I don't know. It just feels like
I see where you're going into that. He's mixing theologies. That seems out of character with a puzzle book. You know, where
No, but that's what. I mean, the book starts with a prologue with references to Dante's Inferno, and that's exactly what Dante's Inferno did, was mix Greco-Roman mythology with Christian mythology.
That's a good point.
But it can't be the devil. I mean, here's what are we gonna do if it's the devil? Like number one, I'm gonna tell you, if he says it's the devil, I just don't believe it. I do not believe it. I'm on board with White Raven. I believe what he's said, that Manson has told him, and I think he's being square with us. But the minute he says it's the devil, I don't believe anything he's ever said. I cannot.
not going to say it.
Okay.
He's not. So
He made a post yesterday, didn't he?
what?
I guess
He posted something recently, but it was just one message.
White Raven?
He was confirming some shit. I don't know who's
Yeah,
it
he
was.
posted a few things. Yeah. We got to prepare, because I've got a real bad feeling that the answer is going to be the devil. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully the Minotaur is hidden somewhere in there. But it seems like those are the only two possibilities left. It seems like it, because we've got that list of people who it could be. And even before any of this, we had the notice in room 6 where it says the guide is none other than the, which means it's either someone whose name starts with THE, and
Right.
Theseus is on this short list, or it's someone who's describable by, the whatever, which I think on our list left us with either the Minotaur or the devil.
Yeah.
I don't see Minotaur on that page.
Okay, but does everyone agree that the face is weird looking? Like if you're Manson and you're drawing a devil face, there's some weird stuff going on in that devil face.
Yeah, I tried turning it upside down and doing the scan, looking at the scan really close up, and I didn't see anything weird. It's maybe in combination with the two gentlemen beside him.
It would have to be, I think, right?
I have to be, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've been squinting at it a lot. I mean, sometimes I can kind of think, oh, maybe the cheeks are kind of like the Minotaur eyebrows, and then you have that weird thing that would be the forehead, and it kind of looks like it has a ring through it, so maybe that's the nose.
The one thing I can see is if you look at the white, if you look at the actual white of the guy's legs and their arms and stuff and his cheeks, that could spell out a letter if you want to get really creative. And
Oh, I did that already, remember?
What'd you come up with? Like a U and a G or something?
I
Well,
spelled out the whole thing. Nobody thought it was any good. Just
now I started drawing word Minotaur in every room.
It looks like a hammer and sickle. Long live Russia.
because honestly, explain to me, if you look at that face really closely, you can see the one little eye above the cheek in a normal sort of a place. And then the left eye is over in the corner. What the hell? That's weird.
The really sly look.
Let me try to pull up the PDF while we're talking here, because I really should have had that ready to go anyway.
Anyway. Does anyone think the twos are supposed to be question mark? Maybe?
It's interesting. It does talk about phrasing questions the right way in the text.
Yeah.
So maybe that's directing us to the answer to our question.
Right.
Makes as much sense as any other part of this thing. I mean, I guess the concern, independent of whether it's the devil in particular, is like, it's like we keep retreating back to it's like we keep losing territory. It's like, all right, everything else seems a little crazy, but this guide puzzle is going to be good. And it's like, all right, the guide path was terrible, but maybe the rest of this is going to be good. And it's like, oh, this location thing seems kind of extraneous. It doesn't seem like it really adds anything, but maybe this final solution where it just gives us the answer, this is going to be good. And it's not, I guess, necessarily this stuff is like completely made up, it seems, but it doesn't seem to have the certainty that we were expecting when we were told, like, this just answers the question flat out, and there's...
I think the I'm going to illustrate this with an anecdote, if you don't mind. So many, many years ago, when The Matrix first came out, I didn't know anything about it, and I was invited to a preview showing, and I thought, oh my God, it's Keanu Reeves. It's going to be a terrible, terrible movie. So I show up, and it's this room full of, uber nerdy people, of which I was one, and it was like the most incredible movie I had ever seen in my life, and it was so amazing. And it was like probably 10 times more amazing because I had zero expectations. I feel like finding this puzzle, if you came upon it on your own, you'd be pretty excited. But I think the problem is we've known about it and we've all built in our minds this idea of this cool, complex puzzle. I don't know. I
feel like the opposite. I feel like our standards have been beaten into the dirt so far that we would have been happy with just about everything. But it's still like disappointed us. Like, certainly, like if you had told me a year ago that there was this puzzle hidden in here that told you that the identity of the guide, I would have expected something a lot better than what I expect now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's taken this 1.5-year process for our standards to get so low that we would listen to this stuff and just like not, ignore it or close the page. I mean, and I said this in the Hangout before, but I really mean it. If David Gentile had just come up with all this stuff and dropped it on us, if he had just said, hey, look, there's this path of trefoils, and we would have said, well, they're not trefoils, and it's not a path. He's like, no, it's a path of trefoils, and it leads you to these 3 rooms. We'd say, well, it doesn't lead you to those 3 rooms. There's no connector between 38 and 40. And also, I mean, it's just, they're all over the... No. He would say, no. Trefoils, it leads you to these 3 rooms, right? Now, if you look at the title page, you can spell the word sly with these... Well, you can spell a lot of things, Dave. There are a lot of letters there. There's a lot of stuff we could spell. No. If you spell sly there, that tells you to look at room 43. Why does it tell you to look? I mean, understand the word sly is there. How does that have anything to do with the guide, Dave? You just found a word there that you found on another page. It doesn't mean anything. No. If you look at that page, but then we don't know what the final step is. Like, so it's like we've lost ground, at least in terms of hope, or what we want to see, any kind of certainty, like all the way down to the very last straw here. You know what I mean? Like,
what you're saying is that all of our struggles so far have gotten us to the point of one of those like 2,000 word posts that Gentile used to write that we just all kind of scroll down. We were looking for clues on the page.
You guys, it is not as bad as that.
You know what? He's got a point. He's got a point. If it had come out of anybody else's mouth other than White Raven, I think we would have all been skeptical. Well, I'm skeptical anyway of White Raven, but I think more of you guys would have been skeptical.
Well, I mean, the thing is, almost every step of it did come out of someone else's mouth at first, and we did all say, nah, like until White Raven said, yes, that's it, right? I mean, we talked about the trefoils connecting with three-ish things, and we were just like, yeah, that doesn't really work, right? There's not really a path there. But it's like, no, that's it. And we talked about all the letters in the blueprint and the letters that the objects could make. And we were like, well, you can spell tons of stuff with that, and you can see tons of letters. You can do what you want. Like, that doesn't lead you anywhere. But he's like, no, that's you take that, and it tells you to go there. It's like, okay. Like, all these solutions, we had the chance to see them and evaluate whether they seem sensible, and we didn't think they did, right?
Yeah.
So it really is just on the basis of him, and that's not good. I mean, that's not a good sign for a puzzle, that when you see the solution, you think can't be the solution until someone tells you, no, that really is the solution. And I don't see these things really work together too well either. It's not like they strengthen each other. I mean, I guess they do in the sense that you can see the three-ish things leading you somewhere in the trap, and then you can see that thing leading you to 43. Except you really gotta you gotta try hard to see those three-ish things taking you to the trap and just not being all over the maze, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind the convergence of the ones that are there. I think that's cool. But if you were trying to find this stuff out on your own, you'd be finding all those other false positives at 1 and 3, and you'd be completely confused.
Yeah. So
How did White Raven do it?
well, that's the question. Is this something that was actually, I mean, he did it in the sense that he came up with this stuff, but is this really what it takes to do this stuff? Maybe there's a hidden name here that tells you the name of the guide, and like, that's it. Like, none of this other stuff matters, is even real, and you just needed to find the hidden name in this room, and Manson intended that to be the name of the guide. And then you found all this other stuff. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
But to say, as long as we're here in 43 and talking about what you just said about like what if there was some kind of extra confirming clue as to the guide's identity here? I'm not satisfied with this whole keep yourself apart thing. I think it's cool in itself, but I don't understand. Yeah, we have it up on White Raven's site that we have a full 5 squares out of 5 on this room, and all it has is that we have keep yourself apart. But what are you supposed to get from that? What is that supposed to tell me? Of all the times that White Raven has said, note, this solution is incomplete on something that seemed reasonably complete, now we have this which is being billed as a complete solution when I don't understand what you're supposed to get out of that at all. Keep yourself.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't tell you anything. We've been puzzling.
The plain answer was it was keep yourself as one sentence and then trap as the second sentence.
But then how do you keep yourself? Nobody said
that's shitty too. That's pretty terrible in itself.
Well, yeah, keep yourself apart. I mean, the word apart usually will refer to two things, right? It's like keep the couple apart. You know what I mean? It's always two things. Not, it doesn't just dangle usually.
Maybe it's keep yourself apart from the other half of the key, which is more deadly.
Well, that's
you'd say keep yourself apart from the trap if you were going to try to integrate the rest of that. But the problem is there's just no from the in this word.
And it's pointless anyway because you're in the trap. So why would he choose this room to give advice saying keep yourself? I mean, unless it's for like future playthroughs.
And
well, presumably if you're stuck here, you'd rather.
And that's just also not a phrasing that English speakers would use, right? To say keep yourself apart from something, tell you not to go there.
stuff like that.
Definitely for a foreigner's way of talking. I was gonna say I did a lot of anagrams of this, and nothing interesting came up at all.
About peak yourself part.
Yeah, just as 4 separate words, and nothing compelling came up.
Vince, can you flip the picture?
Maybe I'll do it again now.
Were you able to turn it upside down?
Oh, I don't know how I would do that. Isn't there a keyboard shortcut that flips your?
It should be in the PDF thing. There's like a flip orientation button. You can just hit it twice. I don't know where that is though.
Oh yeah, you tape view.
Man, I don't see anything of the sort. I mean, I'm viewing it on Google Docs.
Oh, that's why I thought you were okay. Never mind.
Sorry. Yeah, I guess it could be helpful to look at this thing upside down. I mean, look, there's a pretty good T right here, right? That's our T for Minotaur. We could just have an AUR over here and an MINO over here. Look, there's an O.
Hey, I pointed out all that stuff.
I know.
Any love for that? I was so thrilled. Just like deafening silence.
Well, no, I made a bunch of farcical.
Okay, you're right. You made fun of me. That's true. I don't know. I can see a ball when I look upside down, but it's just because I'm trying to see a ball. I mean, if I wasn't trying to see a ball, I don't know that I would see it.
The arms of the two figures alongside him are a real confusing factor. Like, what are those arms supposed to represent that face?
Yeah. Like, okay, so if you flip it over, the legs can be the horn. You flip it over, the legs can be the horns. The arms are just sort of defining the face.
Well, it could be the ears, I guess. They could be probably ears.
They could be ears. Yeah, that's true. And then the nose is like those funny looking cheeks. And then the eye sockets are the nostrils. And then you can have I don't know. I'm seeing it because I want to see it. I don't know if anyone could be expected to see it who wasn't looking for a ball.
And the beard becomes the fire in his eye.
God. Oh, that's his crown.
Yeah.
That's our pain.
Oh.
All right. I mean, here's the thing. So there's going to be some hidden name in here. Except that we've been told that this is the guide puzzle solution. I don't know why we would assume that that's the case based on what we've seen so far. Actually, no, I take it back. I would say the more important thing than anything we've been told so far is noted on the Abyss, but not really emphasized, which is the prologue statement. They should call me Cerberus.
Yeah.
And if you connect that to the abundance of 3-ish things around the 3 connected rooms and the trap, I guess I think that makes the strongest case that an identity that's revealed in those 3 rooms is connected to the guide. Like I still wouldn't say it's so clear as to be inarguable, but I think that's a stronger connection than, in Sly in the maze blueprint.
The thing about in Sly is that it can only refer to this room, really.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's true. And if the answer is not the devil, then the other rooms really don't have anything to do with it. If it is the devil, which it just can't be, right? It just can't be. But if it is,
You got the bell there, hell's bells.
So, all right, what about all this part stuff in this room? I mean, Minotaur is part, bull, part, yeah.
particle. No, I mean particular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That could be an E right below where it says 38. I'd buy that's an E. Like the Tetris block thing. I don't know about the top, but definitely the bottom looks like an E.
So what? There's no E in Minotaur.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for letters that give us a different solution. Like if the answer is devil, we should just never find it.
What's going on with the number 38 and the arrow? What are they attached to? I've never
I think that's a wall underneath.
this.
Yeah, it's a wall because that's the light coming through the hatch that you can see
Yes.
shining on that arrow and stuff.
I thought that they were just striped and floating in midair.
They do kind of look like that.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. I guess we just had this opportunity to come on, and I say we. I think I'm the only one who's really dying to shit all over everything as usual. I haven't gotten a chance to do that in a long time. I mean, and I'm acting like I'm speaking for everyone, but I don't know that I am. How do other people feel about the various parts of the guide puzzle so far?
I'm not too sure if it is the devil. I just want to know the truth, you know?
It's
I'm not
that's
too hung up on the Minotaur. I just want to know what Manson intended, really.
if Manson if Manson intended the devil, like I think that's it. I think we're done. I can't even look at this book again. I don't think.
Oh,
Well, I can't anyway because I left my copy on a bus. But I mean, oh man, I'll tell you, I would never tell another person that that's who the guide is who was a fan of this book.
Well, just take comfort in the fact that this is apocrypha. This was never written that there was actually any riddle of the guide. This is all from White Raven, as far as we know.
Yeah, I mean that's what we'll have to. I mean that's what I'm gonna say. Like I cannot believe it. Like I said, unless Manson personally tells me personally, I cannot believe that this is the devil.
Well, you know, we just gotta wait until he mails me back.
I don't think he's going to. If he does, I don't think it's going to give you a clear answer. He's going to give you a genteel response.
smart water. Here, drink this.
Yeah, he'll send me a bottle.
Oh.
But you know what? I'm gonna read the label really carefully.
Yeah, that's right. You just
Who's in there?
stare at it for hours. I don't know. I'm really not as negative about all this as you guys, but maybe it's because I haven't been involved for as long. I'm not sure.
No, you mean you're generally less negative than I am, certainly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what would the Trinity have to do with the devil, really?
Yeah,
Why
that's
would
what I
the
want to know.
Trinity? Why would the Trinity, which is God, lead you to the trap?
Let me tell you, here's the thing. I think that even under the best of circumstances, this trefoil business seems like a total red herring. And it seems you can say three-ish things or even pitchforky things better than you can say trefoils.
Okay.
Take a look. Give me a second here. I want to go back. Where the hell did I want to go?
Okay, so my point is that White Raven, who, knows his answer to it, is calling them Trinities on Phoebus. He's now calling them Trinities.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, because they're not trefoils.
I can't speak to why he's doing that, but even here, okay, so we're looking at these wires here, right? Where there's supposed to be a trefoil over here, and there just absolutely is not. It just is not. This is not a trefoil.
I
Like, if
disagree
you-
on that one. If you look up trefoil
here.
knot, if you look up trefoil knot, that's not a bad approximation of one. If you wanted to hide it,
But these wires here should overlap, right?
yeah. But again, you're trying to hide it.
But he's hiding it by making it not a trefoil. Like that's not hiding it. That's just not putting it there.
You guys are
So I guess it's
so
a
many
sneaky
things.
way to. But look, it's like right here. You can call this a. I don't know, you probably can't see my cursor really, but like right by the hole, you can see a pitchfork. If you wanted to call,
Yeah, I've
you
pointed
can't see my cursor.
out like 3 times, and again, everyone's
Yeah.
like,
Well, I know. I mean, I'm not saying that it's something new I discovered, but I'm just saying if we were looking pitchforks instead of bogus trefoils,
Yeah.
we could just easily say, "Oh yeah, there's another pitchfork."
You guys
But
love.
see, I don't even know that matters because that doesn't even really connect with anything. I mean, like there's nothing taking you from 40 to 38 in the Trinity range area. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's some stupid symbol over here, like, oh, this looks like a pitchfork right here. I guess we can
Well,
call it
that
that. But
wasn't there
the
sort of,
arrow,
or the style of the number or something?
right? But that has nothing to do with this trefoil path we've been talking about.
What if there's something we haven't found in those carvings?
Yeah, there probably is. And then look, go back at 6, and I'm pretty sure this was Aria. I can't believe I just called it that in real life. I think it was Sarah who pointed out that in 6. Oh no, it's not coming up. But in 6, the better 3-ish thing is not those 3 stones out of the several stones on the floor. It's the upright post that has the 2 branches coming off of it, which is not only a 3-ish thing, but sort of a pitchforky thing.
Yeah.
And even stuff like the 3 towers in room 5, like those are 3 points pointing up to the sky. That's like a pitchfork.
And I mean, that's more better for 14 with the 3-fingered hand clutching the ball.
Oh, I
Right,
just
so that
want to
becomes-
say something about 14. I feel like if you take the target, you take the flower, and you take the ball, that's almost like a better,
Oh, that is sort of better.
right? And it actually surrounds the door. I feel like that's kind of better than either of those things.
That's definitely better than taking either the bullseye or the flower on its own.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the eyes? How do the eyes fit into the whole devil thing?
What, the eye in what? Where?
Everywhere. There's eyes everywhere, and I feel like it's a universal symbol in the thing, just like rings or whatever else. Like, I mean, that's not necessarily a clue, but it just repeats itself everywhere, of course, with the exception of 34.
I don't know. I mean, room 6 is certainly the most
Hold on,
obvious.
I'm talking about give me a sec here. Which room is it? 37. 37.
I don't know why this is not coming up, but it is not coming up. So I'm going to stop screen sharing a blank screen because we all know what the maze looks like. So anyway, forget about trefoils. If you make it about pitchforks, then it not only works better, but then it seems to have to do with the devil, who it's probably going to end up being. No, it won't. It can't be.
No.
The devil. Hey, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second because I've just seen something that I kind of like. Go to 26, which is a room that has devils in it. Right ahead. Go to 26 and you read this paragraph. It says, "What the devil is this supposed to be?" one asked. They gathered around and I realized they were close to something. Well, we could argue all day about what they were close to, but I think that what the devil is this supposed to be, one asked, he's actually asking that about the guy. And they're all gathering around the guy. And he realized that they were close to something, which is figuring out that he's the devil. So that's, they say the real clues in that page. So I'm pretty sure this might just be the real clue since the entire thing off.
Boom. I'm convinced.
Vince just damns me with silence. Sorry.
Well, I don't think it could be the guide himself, but
It's pretty ironic that on that short list was they said something about the placeholder for who the wooden devil is, and it's funny that was said pretty early on in the creation of the Abyss by maybe the alias called the Umbrella or something like that, and it's funny that was mentioned so long ago, and that and it turns out that it could be that.
Turns out that it is that.
Sarah's completely distraught.
I'm just heartbroken. No, I'm not heartbroken yet. I still am full of hope. Full of hope.
I mean, it would explain 24, 23. Maybe he's got bat wings. That's why it's so hard to see over his shoulder. He left his pitchfork at 22.
I mean, the problem it fits perfectly with the guide puzzle stuff that we've seen so far. It just fits horribly with the rest of the book.
Right. Right. It just does not. It doesn't fit thematically, and it doesn't seem like much of a. I don't know. I mean, not that a Minotaur is a surprise either, but it's at least sort of a twist in a way that the Minotaur is your guide through the labyrinth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, somebody come and save us. Someone come and show that it's not the devil.
Yeah, somebody start posting on the Abyss besides me, please. So I'm not the lone crazy out there.
You could say that the statue.
Oh,
What?
I said you're doing a good job of it.
Oh God.
The problem is, like, we do, like, at least I do, like, just say, oh, that's, I don't want to post that. I don't like it. But then this whole thing is stuff we don't like.
Right.
Not posting stuff you don't
Post
like.
everything. Every idea you have, you just post it. That's my theory now. Just post it.
You're absolutely right. And I think we've said that so many times over this last year and a half, but it's still, there's always some kind of filtering level where it doesn't matter how much you say, all right, whatever idea I have, I got to put it on there. You're still going to have just short bursts of ideas where you're like, no, it doesn't work. No. You still have some minimum level before you even call something an idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just never low enough to account for the things that end up being accepted solutions.
And sometimes you just don't want to post something because you're embarrassed by it. But then sometimes that's
Sometimes, yeah, I want someone else to say the thing because I don't want to be associated with it.
See, this is like all male ego stuff. This is why
that's why you're the one who's cleaning house right now.
I'm doing it. Don't care.
Oh, anything else? Anything else anyone wants to talk about while we're here?
I actually have I have a maze anecdote from this evening.
Nice.
Show, and it's with a buddy of mine. I'm in an improv class with him right now, and I mentioned actually that I had this commitment, and I described what it was, and I talked about, it was this puzzle book called Maze from the 80s, and he was like, oh wait, I think my friend showed that to me back in the day. It's not the one where like there's a fist holding a bunch of spears and shaking them, and that's supposed to be Shakespeare. So that was the one detail that he remembered from his encounter with the book, but I thought it was awesome that he knew.
That's a great.
Never investigates it online, and I pray that his memories of the book remain pure and untainted.
No one who meets it ever forgets it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget it pretty soon. As soon as we get told that the devil is the guide, I'm gonna have no recollection of the years 2014 through 2015.
All right, well, I would just like to put out an official call to anyone who might be watching to just, let's just put ourselves out of our misery and solve it so we can all know and, move on with our lives.
It is. We're right there. We're in the doorstep.
I need help.
It feels like someone just needs to like hurl themselves off the cliff and just say it's the devil and get there.
No, nobody wants to say it. You're like trying to say it by not saying it.
Well, it's not. We certainly haven't found the last step of the puzzle that tells you it's the devil. It's
right.
just. It's. I mean, when we're even saying stuff like put together what you've got so far, it is said that the items on the path might, bear some relevance to the person. It's like that's not the Minotaur you're talking about. None of that trefoil stuff has anything to do with the Minotaur. None of the clues we've seen so far have anything to do with the Minotaur. What are they? The only thing they have seen to have anything to do with is the goddamn devil. So fuck. The devil does not have parents.
In closing,
in any version of the Christian creation myth, whatever, the devil didn't come from a mother devil and a father devil.
I will point out, still desperately trying to, tread water on the Minotaur, that the trident is the symbol of Poseidon, who created the white bull, who fathered the Minotaur.
That's an excellent point, actually. Poseidon was the parent of Theseus too.
Was he?
Which, yeah,
Oh,
Theseus was descended of Poseidon. So it was kind of like brothers duking it out in there, sort of. I mean, you got to take Poseidon to sort of be the literal father of the bull, which Poseidon made the bull, so you could say Poseidon was the father of the bull, etc. But yeah, Poseidon was behind both sides of that fight. So yeah, Poseidon's relevant that way. That's a good point. That's an excellent point.
see? Hope?
Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone wants to say? All right. Good night. Maybe for the last time. Maybe this is the last time anyone ever says anything to Maze. Say anyone about Maze in public ever again. We're soon gonna be sorry that we ever picked this book up, ever met each other.
Oh,
All right.
this is not a good way to end this Mazecast, Vince.
Well, it's predictably enough neither good nor bad.
Oh, God.
All right. Good night.